Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we are going to be trying out a long-lasting, undetectable, radiant foundation. So if you want to see which foundation this is and what it ends up looking like, then stick around because we're getting right into it. Charlotte Tilbury, everybody. So Char has a new foundation on the block, and she says that this is undetectable coverage, that it improves the look of skin with each wear. Its clinically proven results boost hydration by up to 166%. I never quite get that because I always feel like, isn't 100% the most? So why do we go over 100%? But I digress. Skin looks plumper and smoother by up to 181%, and the skin tone looks more even by up to 210%. And over 90% of users agreed that there was a minimization of the appearance of pores, plus the reduction of the appearance of pigmentation, dark spots. I could use that, and that the skin appeared instantly brighter. So this feels like this is not a foundation here. It feels like this is magic. This is some sort of wizardry that Char has going on here. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, and this is $44, and it can be found at Sephora. It can be found at Charlotte Tilbury, and I believe you can also find it on Beautylish. So there are several places where you can purchase it if in fact you decide that you would like to. So this also, actually, I'm looking at the front of this, it says it also has pollution defenses. So this thing is just really like, again, a magician, a superhero in a bottle. So Charlotte Tilbury is kind of known for, of course, her foundations, her eyeshadows, her powders, but the foundations in general tend to lean a little yellowy and orangey. And that becomes a problem for the variety of skin tones out there, is that the foundations may be nice, but the colors are slightly off. So although I like Charlotte Tilbury and I do enjoy some of her foundations, the Magic Foundation I enjoyed, but you kind of have to decide whether you want it to be a bit too light so you can powder, or if you want to try to get your color, and then the orange is definitely going to be much oranger than your skin. So a little bit of a hard time picking out shade ranges with Charlotte Tilbury. So with this one, I wasn't quite sure what color I should pick or how it would really be, but I noticed that a lot of them were neutral shades, and they seemed to run more true to color than some of her other foundations. So I got was the number 10 neutral, and I think that this is going to be the right one for me. So the packaging itself looks like this, and I've never seen a box with so much information on it. I mean, every side is completely covered top to bottom. They're definitely trying to let you know the benefits of this foundation, what it does kind of right away to grab your attention and pull you in to pull this off the shelf over some of the other foundations. I do like the fact that this is in a tube. I'm really into these ones because they're very easy to store because they're made out of this plastic, but they're also nice because they have this flat bottom. They can like sit on the edge of a counter, they can sit on a desk. Then you open it, and it has this nice little pump. So this is my preferred kind of foundation packaging style. So what we are going to do is we are going to use our ColourPop sponge, and we are going to apply it. Now I did already prep my skin. I will have what I use in the information box, but I did moisturize. I did go ahead and put on primer, and I did put on my under eye cream. When I do foundation, they're not wear tests, but just foundation kind of reviews, what I like to do is still prep my face the same way I always would. If you wear this on a bare face and you don't put any powder on it, it's liable to work exactly how it's supposed to work because you're doing nothing to kind of change it. But if you're not going to wear it that way on an everyday basis, then when you do go and put on your primers and you put on your moisturizers and you put on your powders, it's not going to look the same way. So I believe that this does what it says it does because they tested it, but I need to see if for me it's wearable with my other kind of daily routine. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if all these things are true. If it doesn't work for me with my powder, with my concealer, with my moisturizer, then this doesn't work for me, and it doesn't matter if it's basically a genie let out of the bottle. It's not the right genie for me. So let's go ahead and pump some of this out. So clearly this is not an airless pump. This is no Jaclyn Hill, and that's what that looks like. So that actually looks like a really nice color. Okay. So I'm just going to put, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this looks like a nice color. I know it seems like I'm putting on so many, but these are really just kind of half pumps here that I'm doing, and even quarter pumps. Now, although I like this packaging for foundation, you do have to remember that if you do not use the foundation in a reasonable amount of time, it does start to separate, and it is kind of hard to mix it back together in this packaging because it's not a bottle that you can shake. So really this is probably 2.5 full pumps, but I just did a bunch of little half pumps. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our sponge. I probably should have done a half and half on my face, right? But we didn't. Because I did not think about that until after. Now you can also use a brush, or you could use your hands. Whatever you prefer. I know some people hate people using a sponge and then using the wiping motion, but it is what it is, kids. That's how I do it. And I think thus far, this is proving to be not only a nice shade, but to go on rather nicely. So let's get around the eye. Now I kind of go back and forth between a brush and a sponge. It really just depends on how my skin is behaving, and kind of what I have found at that time to use. Like with the sponges, sometimes I will use a beauty blender, but recently I've been using these ColourPop sponges and I really like them. This one is the kind of like textured furry sponge, and I like it because it doesn't suck up a ton of product. I mean, it has the coloring from the product, but it doesn't suck up a ton of product, and I really like it. When you wet it, it still feels not dry, but it doesn't feel damp or soaked. But it does, you know, clearly expand in size. So I'll put this in the information box too, because I think that this is a really, really nice sponge. Okay. And I'm pouncing so much because my mirror is here, but you guys know that without my glasses I am pretty much blind, so I'm trying to make sure I get everything, because sometimes in editing I'm like, oh, get that spot, get that spot. I never get that spot. And I'm like, oh man, I wish you had gotten that spot. And I don't have like a huge monitor. Not that it would really matter, because I would need something pretty big to be able to see everything. Alright, so that's it. So I think that this looks really nice. I think that this is radiant. I think it is making my skin look very healthy. I think it looks radiance, but yes, it has the dew. So it has a lot of dew. It's slightly tacky, but not super tacky, but we did just apply it. But I think overall, this looks really nice. So this is a nice light foundation, but I think it gave me some nice coverage. So let's kind of take a little look-see-loo here, because clearly this is like skincare and foundation into one. This is Science Plus Color. It doesn't say whether it is medium, full, or light coverage. Oh, it lies. You see? This girl has so much writing, it's all in gold, it's hard to tell. So it says a medium coverage, light as air foundation infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid plus brightening rose complex. Skin looks more beautiful instantly and over time for a healthy looking glow and brighter, smoother looking complexion. So this is a medium coverage. It doesn't say medium buildable, so I'm not going to put any more on it. But it's as light as air foundation. It definitely does feel super light, super light. I would have thought that this was a skin tint or a BB cream, CC cream, because this is very, very light. And like I said, it is radiant, it is dewy, it does give you that healthy glow. So if you're somebody who wants to keep the healthy glow, you could totally go out and look like this. Now what I'm going to do is continue with the rest of my kind of foundation routine, so that you guys can see. And what we have is the Pat McGrath Labs and M15, the concealer. I just want to put just a little bit, just to make sure we have any of those darkness or blue underneath the eye to go away. We'll see how this kind of plays with this concealer, because that is important, because I think a vast majority of people do wear concealer, whether it's under their foundation product or over it, and so it's nice to be able to have one that works nicely together with your whole routine. Like I'm saying, so far I really like this. Now this just came in today, so this is my first time wearing it, so it's just a first impression, but my first impressions, I feel like, tend to be pretty spot on. So, because I don't tend to be like, ooh, I love products right away. I really do kind of try to look at them the best I can during the first impression. So my first impression tends to stay. But I do want to update you guys clearly later on if anything does change. So that's that. Okay. Looks very nice. Excellent. Then what we're going to do is, I just got the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powders in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a medium 12. If you haven't watched this video, you should. I'll put it up here in the cards. This is how cute it is. I'm not going to use the puff, but medium 12 is what I use underneath my eyes. So I take my sponge, and I just take the flat one. This isn't the one that we use. This is another kind of little one. I think this is Real Techniques. I just kind of powder underneath that. Okay, and then what I do is I'm going to take the next powder, which is still the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder, and this is in medium dark 15, and we're going to go ahead and take my brush, and we're going to swirl it in here, and we're going to set our powder, our foundation. And that's because I just always do this. I mean, even though my skin has gotten drier because of my autoimmune issues, I still am very much so in the habit of setting my foundation. It's just something that I still like to do, especially, I know sometimes people will say, well, if it's a glowy or a dewy product, why would you then set it with powder? That doesn't make any sense. But for me, you can still see, like, I feel like you can still see a bit of dew, but I just like it to not be kind of that glowy just yet, because even though I am dry, I still do have natural oils that are going to come out throughout the day. So you want to make sure you're managing those, unless you're just somebody who really enjoys kind of just that dewy look and doesn't mind. Now we're going to take our Morphe brush. What we're going to do is we're just now going to buff in the under eye powder that we had. Okay. All right. And that is pretty much it, guys. So that is the foundation. I think that it looks really, really nice. You can still see some of that radiance coming through. So the powder didn't take the radiance away, but it definitely did tone it down. But I think that overall, this looks really, really good. I'm really happy with the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. Like I said, usually Char is off and she has you in Oompa Loompa land. But this one was good, and 10N I think was a perfect match for me. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to stop here because you've seen everything, that is fine. Thank you so much. Please hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and make sure you get all my new and upcoming videos. If you haven't already, go to Instagram, follow me at Londyn Brielle. And if you want to, you can go to TikTok, follow me at official_Londyn Brielle. And again, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. If you want to still stick around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'll come back and show you with everything kind of put together, so you can see with bronzer, blush, everything, how it kind of all laid down on it. And I can give any additional thoughts I have as far as the products and how they laid on it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to finish up my face, and then I will meet with you again. Okay guys, so we are back. And it has been about an hour since I finished the foundation. As you can see, we have everything on. We have our blush on, we have our bronzer on, we have our contour on, we have everything going. And everything laid really, really nicely down on my face with the foundation. If you guys are interested in this look, I did film it. So if it's up, it will be in the cards. If it's not, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when it does hit the YouTubes. So far, guys, I really do enjoy this foundation. Like I said, I've had it on for about an hour. I don't see any oils becoming too oily, but I do see it like melting in with my skin even more than I already did. So I love it. And I did put on cream bronzer and then a powder bronzer on top of it. I put on a cream to powder blush, and everything blended nicely with it. I didn't get any patchiness. It didn't pull at anything. It just was nice. When I put on my eyeshadow, the kind of glitter that I have here, it didn't like fall down and get stuck to my foundation or anything like that. So I really like the foundation thus far. So I think this is going to become somewhat of a staple for me. If for whatever reason my feelings change, I will definitely make sure to update you. But if they don't change, there won't be any update. But as of right now, this was a great first impression. I really do love it. It is just, it's so lightweight. Like on my face, I just feel so lightweight. Nothing's coming off on my hands. You can just completely touch your face, and I think that it looks nice. So I would say if you guys have the $44 to invest, to go ahead and maybe give it a try. If you're okay with kind of going out, I would say head to your local Sephora and have them give you a sample of it, and then maybe just get the shade that you think you are, the shade below it, and the shade above it, just so you can have some testers when you get home. Usually what they give you is enough for 2 or 3 wears, depending upon how much you put on your face and what application you use, whether it's a brush or a sponge. So I'd say head into Sephora, get yourself a little sample, check it out, and kind of see for yourself, because so far I really, really, really like it. And I like it because it does not feel heavy, it does not feel cakey, it feels like I can breathe. So guys, let me know if you have the foundation, if you want the foundation, or if you think that you're going to go into store and get some samples. How do you feel about the Charlotte Tilbury line of foundations to begin with? Let me know down below so we can have a little chat skis. If you enjoyed the video, please give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up, not 1 but 2. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos. Go over to Instagram, follow me at Londyn Brielle, and if you want to, go over to TikTok, follow me at official_Londyn Brielle, and see what I do on these different platforms when I'm not here with you on the YouTubes. So guys, I love you, I miss you, and I always appreciate you spending your time with me. So until next time guys, I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys. Bye.